In this video, I want to let you in on a little secret. There's one spice, often called the most powerful in the world, that can actually help stop kidney disease in its tracks. Just 500 milligrams a day for 3 months has been shown to lower protein levels in a truly meaningful way. Drink 1 cup every night to lower creatinine. Today, I want to share something very close to my heart: the single most powerful spice for protecting your kidneys, reducing proteinuria, and calming inflammation. But before I reveal it, let's pause for a second. When you hear the word inflammation, what comes to mind? Maybe a sprained ankle if you're younger, or stiff joints and arthritis if you're a little older. But the truth is, inflammation is much deeper than what we see on the outside. For many people with chronic kidney disease, chronic inflammation is a constant companion. It brings pain, drains energy, and, worse, slowly damages the kidneys. Unlike the normal, short-term inflammation that helps the body heal, chronic inflammation never helps. Instead, it chips away at our health, worsening autoimmune diseases, raising the risk of heart problems, even fueling proteinuria and diabetes. That's why stopping inflammation isn't just about easing discomfort, it's about protecting your life, your heart, and your kidneys. The good news? Diet is one of the fastest and most powerful ways to calm inflammation. Healthy fats, cruciferous veggies, colorful fruits, they all help. But there's one spice, one incredible superfood, that stands above all the rest when it comes to lowering inflammation and shielding your kidneys from harm. So, what's the best food to calm chronic inflammation and protect your kidneys? The answer is simpler than you might think. It's about choosing natural, healing foods that naturally fight inflammation. And right at the top of that list is our star spice, turmeric. Turmeric, also called the golden spice, is what gives curry its vibrant color and earthy flavor. But its real magic lies in curcumin, its active ingredient. Research shows that just 500 milligrams of curcumin can be as powerful as 50 milligrams of diclofenac, a common arthritis drug, in reducing pain and inflammation. And here's the exciting part: studies also show that turmeric, when taken in the right dose, can significantly reduce proteinuria levels. One of my favorite ways to unlock turmeric's full potential is through a simple drink. You see here, golden milk. This isn't just any drink, it's one of the most powerful ways to enjoy turmeric's benefits. When made right, golden milk can help fight inflammation, protect your kidneys, support immunity, and even calm proteinuria. Now, I need to warn you about something. Most golden milk recipes online are loaded with honey, maple syrup, or other sugars. And as you know, sugar is one of the most inflammatory foods you can put in your body. For those with diabetes or anyone wanting to protect their kidneys, this is the last thing we want. That's why I've created my own version of golden milk. It's sugar-free, simple, and just as delicious. All you need is 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk, my favorite kidney-friendly choice, but you can use another unsweetened plant milk if you prefer. 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric, our main healing ingredient. Now, there's one more important detail: curcumin in turmeric isn't easily absorbed by the body. Most of it is metabolized and lost before it even reaches your bloodstream. But don't worry, we'll fix that in just a moment with 2 powerful allies. So, how do we actually make turmeric work better for our bodies? That's where the other ingredients come in. First, I like to add about 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger. Ginger is another powerful anti-inflammatory, and when paired with turmeric, they work together like a team, boosting each other's effects. It's also a wonderful spice to include in your meals every day. Next, I add 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Not only does it bring a lovely warmth and flavor to the drink, but it's especially helpful if you're managing diabetes, since cinnamon has been shown to improve insulin resistance. Now, here's a really important step: 1/2 teaspoon of coconut oil. This healthy fat helps curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, get absorbed more effectively. Think of it as a carrier, wrapping the curcumin in tiny micelles so it can cross into your bloodstream instead of being wasted. Anytime you cook or supplement with turmeric, always make sure there's a little healthy fat with it. And finally, the secret ingredient, a pinch of black pepper. This is non-negotiable. Black pepper contains piperine, which stops your body from breaking down curcumin too quickly. The result? Your absorption of turmeric can shoot up by as much as 2,000%. That's why turmeric without black pepper is almost useless. Once everything's in, slowly pour in your warm almond milk. About 1/2 cup is perfect, and mix well until smooth. And that's it, your golden milk is ready. Now, I want to challenge you. For the next 30 days, try adding turmeric to your daily routine, either in your meals or by sipping a cup of this golden milk before bed. Pay attention to how you feel: your energy, your digestion, your joint comfort, even your kidney health. You might notice changes in your body, your mind, even your mood. And when you do, I'd love for you to share your experience, not just with me, but with others who need hope. Because turmeric is more than just a spice, it's a gift for anyone struggling with inflammation, diabetes, or proteinuria. Now, you might be wondering, is adding more turmeric to your diet really going to help your kidneys? The answer is yes, and here's why. Turmeric does so much more than fight inflammation. For example, studies have shown that turmeric can reduce proteinuria. That's when excess protein leaks into the urine, a common issue in kidney disease. In fact, a 2022 meta-analysis published in the Journal of Kidney Diseases found that turmeric brought the best results for people with diabetic kidney disease or lupus nephritis. But researchers believe the benefits can extend to anyone living with kidney problems. So, how does it work? The magic is in curcumin, turmeric's active compound. Curcumin is a powerful antioxidant. It sweeps up harmful free radicals that damage our cells and tissues. Even more, it helps calm the body's inflammatory signals, lowering the production of cytokines, the little messengers that trigger inflammation in the first place. In plain words, curcumin works like a gentle, natural anti-inflammatory drug, helping to soothe the very processes that fuel arthritis, diabetes, heart disease, cancer, and yes, kidney disease. But here's the beautiful part: curcumin's benefits don't stop at the kidneys. It's been shown to sharpen memory and focus, protect your skin from aging, support your liver's detox power, guard your eyes against cataracts, and even lift your mood by boosting serotonin and dopamine. There's even evidence it can extend lifespan. For people with kidney disease, another big win is turmeric's ability to help manage uric acid, a hidden danger that often leads to gout, an incredibly painful condition. Curcumin helps bring those levels under control. And beyond its healing powers, turmeric is simply a joy to use. Its golden color, warm aroma, and earthy taste don't just brighten up food, they brighten up the spirit. Turmeric can even encourage the release of endorphins, your body's own natural painkillers and mood boosters. So it heals not only the body, but also the mind and soul. Of course, I know not everyone loves the taste of turmeric. If that's you, don't worry, you can still reap the benefits by taking it in supplement form. So, how much turmeric, or rather, curcumin, should you actually take if you decide to supplement? In the review of studies we looked at earlier, doses between 60 and 500 milligrams of curcumin per day were found to be effective. Remember, curcumin is only a small fraction of turmeric itself. Treatment durations in these studies varied too, some as short as 15 days, others lasting up to 4 months. What does this mean for you? My advice is to start small, see how your body responds, and then adjust if needed. In fact, many studies found that about 3,500 milligrams of turmeric capsules daily, usually one with each meal, already brought remarkable results. But I need to add something very important here: always talk to your doctor before starting turmeric supplements. Turmeric can act as a natural blood thinner, so it's not recommended for people with bleeding disorders. It can also interact with medications like antidepressants, antibiotics, or antihistamines. And if you're taking iron supplements, don't take them at the same time as turmeric. Years ago, we thought diet could only slow kidney disease. But today, science tells us something far more powerful: the right diet can actually reverse CKD. This isn't wishful thinking anymore, it's a fact. A recent study on 120 CKD patients showed that with the right diet, real improvement is possible at any stage. And yet, I know how overwhelming it can feel. Patients are told to avoid potassium, phosphorus, carbs, protein, and soon they're left asking, so, what's left for me to eat? That's why today I want to shine a light on one of the most underrated superfoods out there. It's inexpensive, easy to find, and packed with benefits. This humble food is high in fiber, which helps with blood sugar and diabetes, rich in resistant starch to feed your gut, and full of antioxidants that protect your kidneys. I'm talking about legumes. You might be thinking, wait, aren't beans and legumes forbidden in a kidney diet? And you're right, at one point, they were. Doctors used to warn against them because of their phosphorus and potassium content. But here's the good news: we now know a lot more about how the body actually absorbs these minerals. What researchers have discovered is that the phosphorus and potassium in plant-based foods like beans and lentils aren't fully absorbed by our bodies. In fact, only a small fraction gets through. And that changes everything. Today, legumes are no longer seen as dangerous, they're actually considered superfoods for kidney health. That being said, there are still a few situations where you may need to limit them, so always check with your doctor before making big changes. But let me ask you something: do you eat legumes now? If so, which ones are your favorites? I'd love to hear in the comments. Now, let's answer the big question: can eating more legumes really help lower creatinine and support kidney health? Yes, and here are 4 powerful reasons why. 1. Resistant starch for gut health. Legumes are rich in resistant starch, a special type of fiber that doesn't get digested in your small intestine. Instead, it travels down to your large intestine and becomes food for your good gut bacteria. And if you've been following me, you already know how important gut health is for kidney health. When your gut bacteria thrive, they actually take on some of the waste removal work that would normally burden your kidneys. 2. Antioxidant power. Beans and lentils are loaded with antioxidants: polyphenol, flavonoids, carotenoids, vitamin C, vitamin E, selenium, zinc, manganese, you name it. These compounds fight oxidative stress, one of the main drivers of kidney damage, and help repair the damage free radicals cause. 3. Blood sugar balance. For anyone with diabetes, this is huge. Legumes have a low glycemic index, which means they release sugar slowly into your bloodstream. No spikes, no crashes, just steady, balanced blood sugar. This helps with insulin resistance and makes legumes an ideal food for protecting both your kidneys and your overall health. 4. Iron for anemia. Finally, legumes are a great plant-based source of iron. And here's a trick: if you pair them with vitamin C like a squeeze of lemon or some fresh bell pepper, you boost absorption significantly. Considering how common anemia is in people with kidney disease, this makes legumes an incredibly valuable food to add in. So yes, I truly believe adding more legumes to your diet wisely and in moderation can make a meaningful difference. Of course, I'm not saying to eat them without any limits. Variety in your diet is still key. But here's something interesting, there's one legume you can actually enjoy freely without worry. I'll share which one in just a moment. Before that, let's clear up a couple of concerns. Potassium. Many people with CKD are told to avoid potassium. But the truth is, high potassium in CKD usually comes from other issues like certain blood pressure medications, not from the diet itself. If you've been told to avoid potassium, it may be worth discussing medication adjustments with your doctor instead of cutting out healthy foods. Phosphorus. Now this one is trickier. Everyone with CKD should keep phosphorus in check because it can harm the kidneys. But here's the thing, phosphorus from plant foods isn't absorbed well. The real concern is phosphorus from animal products, meat, fish, dairy, and especially preservatives in packaged foods. The little phosphorus you get from legumes is a small price to pay for all the benefits they bring. And what about protein? Well, here's the thing, protein in a kidney diet is a lot like phosphorus. It needs to be carefully monitored and kept in the right range, but it's not something you can or should avoid completely. Your body still needs protein, and the source matters a lot. That's why beans and legumes are so special. They're one of the healthiest protein sources you can choose because they're plant-based. Along with protein, they bring fiber, vitamins, minerals, and countless other benefits your kidneys and overall health will thank you for. The key is balance. Get your protein and phosphorus from the right foods, not from the ones that harm your kidneys. So, let's talk about which legumes shine the brightest and why. One of my absolute favorites is chickpeas, also called garbanzo beans. Not only are they packed with fiber, but they're also versatile. You can turn them into hummus, which is delicious, filling, and surprisingly kidney-friendly. Hummus has even been studied for its effect on blood sugar, and researchers found it provides carbohydrates that don't disrupt insulin levels. That makes it especially great for those managing diabetes. Another amazing option is black beans. They're naturally lower in phosphorus compared to many other beans, and they're rich in fiber and folate. Folate is particularly important for kidney health because being deficient in it can speed up CKD progression, especially for people on certain blood pressure medications. Plus, the fiber in black beans supports the gut, encouraging healthy bacteria that can improve insulin sensitivity. And as we've said before, better gut health means better kidney health. We should also talk about soybeans. In Asia, they're enjoyed in so many forms like tofu, soy milk, and tempeh. What makes soybeans unique is that they're one of the only plant-based proteins considered high biological value, meaning they contain all the essential amino acids your body needs. For someone who has to limit protein intake, getting even a small amount from soy can make a big difference. Of course, all of these legumes are protein-rich, so moderation is key. But here's the good news, there's one legume you can enjoy without worry: green beans, also called string beans. They're much lower in protein and calories than other legumes, but still loaded with fiber and vitamins. You can steam them, blanch them, or even enjoy them straight from the can, just make sure to drain and rinse. They're light, versatile, and kidney-friendly enough to eat more often. Now, before we wrap this up, there's one last concern people often bring up: oxalates. Some legumes are higher in oxalates, which can contribute to kidney stones in people who are sensitive. But unless you fall into that small group, this really isn't something you need to worry about. In fact, some high oxalate foods can actually play a role in lowering creatinine levels. And this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you.